Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to see some SQL coding questions that are related to aggregate functions. Hello, so what are aggregate functions? SQL aggregate function is nothing but inbuilt function in a SQL server which basically does the calculation on certain values or columns and returns a single value. So aggregate functions always return single values. Min, max, count, sum, average. These are like some common examples that we use in queries of aggregate functions. Now look at some questions here. For example, what would be the output in the following series? Okay, select sum would be doing the addition 1 plus 4 into 5. So whether it would be 21, 25 or it will error out, or let's see. Then select max of 1 comma 2 comma 3, then max of string value, what would be the output, whether it will be error, and max of concatenated string value td plus ad. Okay, so think about it and we'll see the output. So here we go. uh, as per the definition of the functions, so the functions take singular value or a series of value or column and returns one value. So the first thing is we are passing like sum of all these things, but ultimately 4 into 5 plus 1, that is 21, so it is returning sum of this as a 21. Okay, same thing is for max of the code, the string value. It's not going to compare anything and it is returning. Now here max of 1 comma 3 comma 8 is error out. Why? Because it requires one argument. So it here with respect to comma it becomes three arguments, so it has to have a one argument. Same for now max of td plus ad, that is the one value, and we are getting the returning td ad. So aggregate functions takes one arguments and return one value. Okay, so now let's see another interesting example with the null and aggregate functions. So what is the impact of null on the aggregate functions? So for example, what will be the output of given statement? Select sum of null or minimum of null or maximum of null. So it should give us null or it should error out. Let's see. Okay, so output of the following statements: operand data type null is invalid for the sum operator. So all on the all uh, aggregate functions, null values, you cannot pass the null argument, so you will get this error. So things to remember with the examples or the questions we have seen is aggregate functions, none of this function takes null argument. Okay, also this function accepts only one argument. Okay, and those returns value. And aggregate functions ignore null values except for count. So if you are doing a sum of values in the columns, and if there is a null value, some function might ignore it. Okay, but what is this statement? Except for count. So count will not ignore the null value, and we'll see the example of it. Aggregate functions ignore null values except for count. So we are going to see this with the example. So this is my employee table. So there are like 8 rows in it. Okay, and one of the column has a null value. Department has null value for one record. Okay, so let's see. uh, this is an example. Now select count of star of employee, count of department, and count of employee name. So when we say count of star, so it will count rows across the columns and how many rows in the table. So answer is 8. Select count of employee name, answer is 8, but select count of department, is answer is 7. So though there are like 8 records in the table, the count of department is giving you a count as a 7. That means it has not counted the null value. and that explains this statement. Thank you for going through our video. Hope this is helpful for the aspirants. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel if you have not done. This will help us to get more interesting videos. Thank you.